All right. Are you muted?
Wait, no.
All right. New lighting setup. Something you guys said. The last one's a little bit dark. Looking extra beautiful. Beautiful as always, but looking extra beautiful today. Thank you to the people who enjoyed it and gave us all the support. It was a great response. And we're going to keep making them because I know you guys enjoy it. So, for the first topic of today, we're going to talk about how to give your words more gravity. Abu, you want to start? This guy wasn't listening. All right. So, I'm going to be talking about how to give your words more gravity, how to make what you say more impactful.
Yeah, so I think a good way to respond to that question would be like, don't just talk out of your ass. Like, if somebody asks you a question and you don't know the answer, don't just give something out of your ass, like just something like plain and basic, because most of the time the person would have probably already heard it, and rather than like the person coming back to you for more advice, they're just going to be like, I don't really need to listen to that guy. He doesn't know what he's talking about. Yeah.
Right. So if a person's more likely to take your advice if you've had success in something, because why would you listen to someone, say, who's fat, they're giving you weight loss advice, like you're just going to be like, who the fuck is this cunt? The reason, like, Abu's a well-respected guy is because he's had a lot of success in different areas. So people know that they can trust him. That people want security, right? People don't want to waste their time listening to someone who has no idea what they're talking about. It's the same thing that we talked about in our last podcast about who you should listen to, whose advice you should take, with the whole concept of should. Like, what some guy is saying you should do this, but they have no success in that. So should you listen to them? Probably fucking not. Yeah. Another thing, another way you can add gravity to your words is following through with the things you say. Because every time you say something and you don't follow through with it, you cheapen your word. And eventually, if you make it a habit of it, then people come to learn that you probably don't mean what you say. So when you talk, you need to say what you mean what you say. Any thoughts on that? Or
Not gonna lie, I was just looking at myself in the thing. I'm trying to make sure I look good. Yeah.
we got haircuts today.
Yeah, we got haircuts today. That's why like we don't look like jungle monkeys at the moment.
Even though we said we're not gonna cut our hair, no matter how many comments we get, just the trim.
Yeah, just a little. We asked for 2 centimeters. As you can see, it's quite a bit.
But yeah, we also got the pubes braided, lined up, ass wax. So the whole shebang.
Basically, if you want people to continue listening to your advice, don't just like say a lot of things and you don't end up doing them. Like, so many people will come up to you and be like, yeah, I'm starting to do this, and then I'm going to do that, and then I'm going to do that. They don't do any of that. They just say it, because what happens is people, they want to start something and they talk to one person, then they talk to another. Because when you tell people what you're about to do, like your goals and stuff, it releases enough dopamine for you to just be like fine with that. Like, and then you don't want to actually strive for your goals. You're fine with the dopamine you get just by telling people what you're going to do. But rather than, you feel like you've done it because you feel happy already. Whereas if you just tell maybe 1 or 2 people and then you like, it's not enough dopamine, you actually continue to do the work. Let's suppose you're about to start a business and then you tell all your friend group, most of them like are going to be like, bro, good for you. Like, and they're going to say things and be like, you're going to feel good about it. And then after that, you just knock. Somebody knock on the door?
Yeah, on the wall.
Yeah. So
intermission, a slight intermission. The local inhabitants of the Abu Bakr household have arrived. In the meantime, I'll keep you company. Oh, hold on. We may have to greet the local inhabitants. This is a foreign region. Okay, and we're back.
yeah, you're going to tell all these people about.
What a catastrophe.
Yeah. So you're going to tell all your friends, all right, I'm about to do this, I'm about to do that. And then you're not going to end up doing anything because none of your friends are going to hold you accountable, let's be honest. Only some of them will be like, hey, bro, how you going with that? They just don't care. Like, is that right? think that's correct. Yeah, because most of the time your friends aren't gonna like, especially like I feel most people who watch our videos, they're pretty young. Like your friends really could not give less of a fuck. They've got League of Legends, Valorant, and like Fortnite still. So to most of them, I feel like if you actually want to have an impact with your words, do the thing before you tell people. Like put your head down, work on what you want to do, and then you can start telling people with the results you have. Otherwise, like again, you're just talking out of your ass.
Hold on. We're gonna get a young supporter on the podcast. Here he comes. Here comes the boy. Oh, damn. Get him on the mic. Get him on the mic. Hold on. All right. I'm muting. We got a real speaker. All right. Yeah, your mic's on. What's up? What's up? Okay.
All right. So this is proof that I'm a successful man. This is my grown son. He's starting preschool next week. Tell him something. I haven't taught him how to speak yet. Yeah, that's all he knows how to say. All right, get up. You gonna stay on the camera?
Yeah, you
I can say something.
You can say it.
Don't eat it. Don't eat it. Don't eat it. Just say something.
Not too loud. Not too loud.
Okay. Bye bye. Leave. Go back to the back. Chill out.
Okay. Okay. Don't scream. Don't scream.
Okay. Yeah. Come on. Bye. Oi. Close the door. Fucking runt, bro. As you can see, I'm a good father. That's only one of my kids.
All right. So for the next topic, I wanted to talk about. All right. Well, I wanted to bring up a totally different topic, but since we're on the topic of talking about what you know and how to be confident in what you say, I'm going to talk about confidence. So confidence is two things. Confidence is being able to say something and for it to accurately line up with reality. So for example, Abu often makes predictions, and the reason he's confident in his predictions is because they often line up with what happens in reality. It's actually like pretty crazy. Like some of the stuff he says is ridiculous. Is there any we can say?
So one time we were at the sex store and he bought an 8-inch dildo and I predicted that it was going to like rip his ass and it was going to bleed. He didn't believe me. Guess what happened?
But whatever doesn't kill you makes you stronger. So now I'm onto the 12-inch, and inshallah, the rate. All right, whatever the equivalent is, hopefully we'll be moving on to the Raging Rhino soon. So you can search that up. That's actually a real product. Anyway, so confidence is being able to say something for it to line up with reality, and another thing is confidence is the memory of winning, right? So to gain confidence, you need to win. And to win, you need bravery. So bravery is literally the opposite of confidence. Bravery is when you don't have confidence, you're scared, and you do it anyway, right? Bro, why do I come to this guy's house? Anyway, so I've actually lost my train of thought. All right. So bravery is when you're scared and you do it anyway, right? So the formula for confidence is bravery plus competence. So competence is knowing that you can do something. So bravery plus competence equals confidence, right? Hopefully that was clear for you guys. But yeah, I guess I'll introduce the next question. So the next question is, how often or how should you choose between choosing the right way and choosing the fun way? What do you think? How often should you choose fun, and how often should you choose doing what you need to do?
It's definitely all about like what you want at the end of the day. Yeah. If you don't have anything to work towards and you just want to live like the ideal like teenager life, then I guess most of the time you're going to choose fun. 80% of the time you're going to choose fun, and maybe 20% of the time you're going to be like, no, right now I have to work. And that 20% is going to be probably you finishing your uni assignments or whatever because they're due the next day and you haven't done them because you're a lazy fuck. But if you're someone who's trying their best to get their life together and they actually have a goal to work towards and they have like big dreams, not even big dreams, but if you have a goal, let's say you're in uni and your goal is to actually get that job afterwards and make the salary that like is predicted for you, then you're going to be working hard constantly. You're not just going to be doing the work that uni is giving you. You're going to be doing the extra work, stacking up your portfolio. And let's say you're not in uni and you're just doing your own business. Most of the time, and your friends are going to ask you to come outside, but you have to work like hard still, and you know it. You're going to choose to stay home most of the time because, once again, it's all about what sort of dreams you have and like what sort of life you want to live later on. And yeah, I think in most people's life, I don't think it's going to be a balance. I think in every person's life, there's one more than the other. More commonly, you're going to see most people choose the fun way.
Right. So you need to prepare for failure or prepare to fail. So you need practice, just like anything. And you said one thing. Can you give it a rewind?
Which one?
I don't know. You said something, and I was gonna say something about it. Just give me a rewind of what you're talking about.
I was just saying how.
Oh, right. So he said most people will usually choose the fun way. And I've been thinking about this a lot. Most people are unfortunately average, right? So when you're thinking about what you want to do, you might want to actually think about doing the opposite of what the majority of people are doing, because the majority of people are average. So, and this is once again, if you don't want to be average, right? If there's something, you have dreams, you have aspirations, you want to separate yourself from your typical individual, then yeah, it's like a decent way to think about it. If all these people are thinking something and you're thinking the opposite, chances are you might be doing something right, because a lot of the time, like, people will band together and they'll just bandwagon without it ever even like injecting their own thoughts, their perspectives, their opinions, anything like that. And I think the common misconception is people think the truth is statistical, right? Wherever the majority is, it must be true. And in many ways, that's wrong. It's one of most times when I have a debate with someone, right? They'll bring someone in and they'll ask them, "Oh, well, what do you think?" And then the person might agree with them, and they'll go, "Look, even he thinks it. Even he thinks it." But it doesn't mean it's true, because the truth isn't statistical.
Like, to make more sense of that, that's called dick riding. In a lot of arguments, especially in bigger friend groups, most of the time when you're the person who is an average, you're going to see a lot of people dick riding the other person who you don't agree with. Yeah, so on average, if you're somebody who believes that they're not average, but then you choose to believe the words of people that are average and you let it demotivate you, then it doesn't separate you from them or yourself. Wait, no. It doesn't really separate you from them, you know? Mm-hmm. And I understand why it could happen, because you're going to be in a big environment and you're going to be talking about like your beliefs to the average people, but there's just going to be a lot of dick riders in the room. And
it's easy to get confused.
Yeah, and then if you're surrounded by the wrong people and you're not that strong mentally, if 5 people tell you something, that's going to overpower like your own opinions. But also that depends on what type of person you are.
So honestly, to us, especially, like I was mentioned this before, more important than agreeing with us is to be authentic and to have your own philosophy, because at the end of the day, like, we don't care if you disagree with us, as long as you stand for what you want, then we're going to have more respect for you, right? Like, we might like you more if you agree with us, but there's many people who go against us and they're polarizing, meaning like they split you down the middle, right? They create opinions, they create emotions in you when they speak. And a lot of people, they'll value it. They might not, like, at the start really like you for it, but they'll come to appreciate it. So people will come to appreciate you for being genuine. And is there anything you want to add to that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like most people rather be friends, like, not most people, but for myself personally, I feel like like me and Erol are pretty strong-minded individuals, but and we have like very strong opinions, but I still choose to stay friends with people who don't agree with me, just because I respect their character. Like, even if the stuff they say isn't what I agree with, I just respect the fact that they have a strong character, and I prefer to hang out with those people more than I like hanging out with people who are like Play-Doh. No matter what you say to them, like, they're going to become a fucking mold. And like, rather than having like mini clones of yourself who haven't even experienced like the stuff you've experienced and why you believe in the things you do and the reasons behind your philosophies. I feel like it's better to just have people that like may be dumb, but at least the stuff they say is their own, and like
100%.
they actually have a strong character.
That's the hard part to find. That's the hard part to find. Finding people who are individuals, like you said, better for them to be dumb and have their own opinions than. Well, if you don't have your own opinion, then I don't see how you can really be smart. Like obviously you probably can do good on tests and shit, but like, are you really smart? Okay, so starting again. So your competitive advantage as someone who's starting content creating and you're young is that you're actually learning the things that you're going to be talking about in real time, or not in real time, but so recently that it's fresh in your mind compared to someone who's maybe 25. They might be talking about these things. They may have learned these 10 years ago. They may have more experience, but the thing is, you have a more, what's the word for it? Like, it's not in depth, but it's you're learning it as you speak about it. So that's your competitive advantage. So use that, because like, don't be discouraged. Don't think that, oh, I might not know anything about it, because that's also creates relatability, because people are gonna see that, oh, this guy doesn't understand things just like I do. And really, it's like realizing that you can find an audience for anything as long as you're enthusiastic about it. So don't be encouraged. Like, don't think that it's something that you need to nail, that it has to be perfect, because people, like good people who support you want to see you make content. They want to see all your content. They want to see your good content. They want to see the times where you post something and it doesn't do well, because they know that, you know, you're moving towards something that you want to do. So people, like good people, will appreciate your content no matter how it comes. So don't be discouraged by that. Yeah, and it's very relatable when you see someone who's in the same position as you talking about the same things that you're thinking about. So yeah, think of it as your advantage, not a what's the opposite? Disadvantage.
The problem with most people is, especially the younger ones, they don't really want to learn and they'd rather just be straight to the top. For example, when I first started working as a freelance video editor, I didn't really know much. I just thought it would be pretty easy. Like I would get a bunch of videos and then I would just search it up on YouTube and start watching it, like just learning as I go, rather than like actually putting my time into like the skill and learning it for a while, because I actually realized how much of a difference it made. Because before, what I would do is, let's suppose I got a task for it, rather than like already knowing it like I should, because I'm putting myself up as a basic video editor, I didn't even know like some of the basic edits. And what I would do is I'd search it up on YouTube one by one, how to add this effect, like the exact description that the client would give me. I would have to search up every single little bit of it. Whereas if I was to just spend maybe at even like 4 or 5 months just learning video editing straight up, like
even like a 1 hour guide
yeah,
of like
like
just like
exactly, just constant learning rather than just trying to make money straight away, I would have most likely made more money and like had clients that kept wanting to work with me. Because most of the time, I only had a 20% client. Like I'm talking about like year 9, year 10, by the way. So most of the time I would only have like the clients, like 20% of my clients would stay and the 80% would leave, because you can very easily tell, like as a big business owner, that this kid doesn't really like is taking his job seriously, which is really bad on my part, because all I wanted to do was just make money and seem like I knew everything. And I just pretended to know like I knew everything, whereas I knew nothing about it. I was constantly failing, but I guess
good failing,
yeah,
bad failing.
It was good and bad failing, to be honest, because I would get demotivated quite a bit. And then but the reason why I'm saying it was good and bad, like failure, is because I would always bounce back. But the thing is, I wouldn't do it the right way. I wouldn't learn. I would just continuously put my ads out and just start getting more clients rather than actually like learning again. I didn't realize that up until a couple of years later, when I wasn't even in the field anymore. And yeah, just looking back at it, thinking I could have made more money. But that's why I'm saying, like, I really recommend people to, if you're put in a place where you only have the option to learn and you don't know much, just sit there and learn, especially at a younger age. Like, you sitting there learning in these years is probably going to be much more helpful for you rather than just pretending like you know everything.
All right. So, We put up a poll, and you guys voted. It was between the 20-man brawl and the freaky cop. So we're gonna. I know you guys like these stories, so I'm gonna tell this freaky cop story. So the freaky cop story. The freaky cop story was when I first. This is the first number I ever got, and I almost took it to the belt. Like if you watch How I Met Your Mother, you know what the belt is. If you don't, you gotta search it up. But or you're gonna have to listen to the story. So I was working at KFC, and this girl comes through, and she was in a blue Toyota 86. She's a. I thought she was a Latina, but I think she's actually I think she's Arab. But anyway, she looks like a Latina, so I'm just gonna say Latina. I thought she was Brazilian. Anyway, she comes in, me and Khalifa glasses, and we're talking. She comes with another guy. I wasn't sure if that was her boyfriend, but I still went for it. Talking, vibing. I was giving her shit because she had this like green grass shot or something like that. I was like, how the fuck do you drink that? Like, it's nice. And I was like, fuck. Well, I guess everyone's got bad taste with something or something like that. Like I was just giving her shit for it. She ends up like, as she's driving away, she's like, you know what, you're really cool. Let's hang out sometime. I was like, okay, let me get your number. That was the first time I actually ever asked a girl for a number. And I said it like so well. I was so happy with it. I was like, yeah, let me get your number. And she's like, who, me or him? And she pointed to the guy next to her. I was like, both. I don't know why I did that, right? So I get her number, I get his number. I think I just did it because I didn't want to be like too direct or something like that. But anyway, so, and another thing, like, I don't know why I did. I messaged the guy instead of the girl, right? I messaged the guy saying that I want to take her ice skating, and he relayed the message to her. She messages me. I'm just gonna take a second to pull up the messages.
This cunt's got the fucking receipts. Who's Mikey?
My basketball coach. Okay, so I'm just gonna read it off. So she says, "Heard you want to go ice skating." I said, "Yep." She said, "Sweet." She said, "Heard you want to go ice skating?" Smiley face emoji. I said, "Yep." She said, "Sweet." I said, the skull emoji. No. I said, "So are you down 8:30 Friday night?" And she says, "I'll ask my girlfriend and see what she says. Otherwise, she might have to come. Will that be okay?" And I say, I mean, that's a bit forward of you, but I'm down for a threesome, right? And then, oh my God, I love that response. That was like, I was so happy. And I sent it in the coldest way. It wasn't like I sent it, I threw my phone on the bed and started running away and doing like kicking my feet. I was just like, it was cold. So, she says, "I don't see this working out between us, X." I said, "That's cool. Let me know if you change your mind, X," right? And then next morning, actually no. Okay, I sent that in the morning. So actually I woke up and I got straight to it. Oh my, okay, yeah, so first thing I did, I woke up and I sent that. Same night, she messages me. "Okay, so I changed my mind. Are you down for an orgy with Jake, me," oh, I shouldn't drop his name. "Jake and me, you and my girlfriend." Right? That was the dude in the car. She said I'd be more comfortable with that. And I said, I don't really want to see Jake's dick, right? And then she said, "I had a foursome with him before. It's so fun, think about it." And then I left it unread. And then she messaged, "Hey, want to meet up?" And I left it. Anyway, so that was in 2022. And
January, start of 2020.
Start of 2022. Now this year, I was out with my friend Adam, and okay, I can't decide if I want to tell the story here, the continuation, what happened next, because I actually have it on my camera, like what happened. Maybe I want to make a YouTube video from it. Should I leave you guys in the cliffhanger? I'll tell you what I did. So that was she messages me at the start of January 2022. "Hey, want to meet up?" I left it, right? And then this year, this year, I message, "How's 9:45? I'll bring a friend." And I was with my friend Adam, right? So I won't tell you guys what happened after that, but it's pretty cool. And yeah, so there's more to it, right? I won't tell you what happened this year, but I'll tell you what happened. So the reason why I didn't go, right? First of all, I didn't want to see that dude's dick. Second of all, I wasn't sure because like, cool. all right, we just had to convert to 1080p because 4K was doing a number on the camera. It stopped. So, what was I saying? So, one time as I work, she gives me a call. She calls me on FaceTime, and she said, I think she was off her head. She was like, Errol, we're having a gather. Come down, calm down. And it was me and my friend Donnie were at work, and I'm showing her. He's like, oh, okay, she's pretty hot. And then she's like, come down, come down. I was like, no, I'm at work. And then she's like, all right then. And this was like 10 minutes before I end my shift. And the call, right? Go back inside, finish mopping the floor. My mom picks me up, and I'm heading home. So I'm heading this way. And then coming this way, right? Rewind. When she called me, her girlfriend grabbed the phone and she brings it to her face and she's like, you know, she's a cop, right? And I was like, I don't know why she said that. I think she's like trying to intimidate me. But anyway, I'm heading home this way in my car. And this way, I see a police car zooming past me, heading towards my KFC. And I remember my heart was beating so fast. I was like, well, what was going to happen? Like, she was going to pick me up in the police car. And yeah, who knows? So hopefully, I didn't just out her. And like, I don't know if that's like against like police regulations, but I haven't dropped the names. I'll probably have to bleep out the dude's name. But yeah, and another thing, the reason why I didn't go to that and take the belt was so I didn't want to see that dude's dick. Second, I thought I was gonna get like kidnapped and like you'd see me on the news like ISIS execution, like electrodes to your balls, freaking. Um, should be all right. Oh, just live leak execution. You know, you're gonna see me on the news, live leak execution style, like electrodes to my balls. So honestly, like I was young, so I was a bit scared. But what happened this year is pretty good. It'll make a good video. So if you guys want to see that, let me know. So that's the freaky cop story. It would have been good if I actually took it because I could have told you guys what happened. But something does happen in the clip that I've got.